The archetype of the overprotective guardian in young adult fantasy literature is a character that, at first glance, appears to be a protective figure acting in the protagonist's best interest. However, this ostensibly benevolent behavior often crosses into the territory of controlling and invasive, presenting a significant red flag that can undermine the young protagonist's agency and personal growth. Such characters justify their actions under the guise of protection or safety, but this can severely stifle a young adult's journey towards independence and self discovery. At the core of this issue is a psychological dynamic that is as complex as it is troubling. Overprotective guardians exhibit behaviors that suggest a deep seated need for control, often stemming from their unresolved fears and insecurities. This desire to protect can morph into a compulsive need to control every aspect of the protagonist's life, from their decisions and actions to their thoughts and feelings. This not only deprives the young adult of the opportunity to make their own mistakes and learn from them, but also sends a problematic message about autonomy and consent. Take, for example, the character of Dumbledore from the Harry Potter series. While Dumbledore is often seen as a wise and caring mentor to Harry, his decision to withhold crucial information from Harry about his destiny and the risks he faces can be interpreted as controlling. Dumbledore's justification for his actions is that he wants to protect Harry and ensure he is not burdened with knowledge that could potentially harm him. However, this denies Harry the opportunity to make informed decisions about his own life and contributes to his reliance on others for guidance. Similarly, in the Hunger Games series, Katniss Everdeen's relationship with her mother is strained due to her mother's inability to function effectively after her husband's death. This forces Katniss to take on the role of caregiver and protector of her sister, Prim. While not a direct example of an overprotective guardian, this dynamic illustrates how a lack of independence and agency can hinder personal growth and lead to a reversal of roles, where the child becomes the caretaker, thereby stunting their own development. Why does this matter in the real world? These portrayals set a concerning precedent for real-life relationships, particularly in how young people perceive the dynamics of protection versus control. They suggest that it is acceptable for those in positions of authority or care to exercise control over others under the guise of protection, without considering the importance of autonomy, consent, and the ability to make one's own decisions. This can foster dependency in young adults who may struggle to assert their independence and make choices without seeking approval from a controlling figure. Moreover, these portrayals can impact young people's understanding of what constitutes a healthy relationship, whether with parents, guardians, or mentors. By normalizing the idea that love and care are synonymous with control, these narratives discourage young adults from setting boundaries and advocating for their autonomy. It sends a troubling message about consent, suggesting that it is acceptable for someone else to make decisions on one's behalf if it is in the best interest of the individual. In conclusion, the archetype of the overprotective guardian, while rooted in a desire to protect, often veers into the realm of controlling and stifling. This not only undermines the protagonist's agency and ability to grow, but also sets a concerning precedent for real-life relationships. It is crucial for narratives to explore the consequences of such dynamics and to emphasize the importance of autonomy, consent, and the empowerment of young adults to make their own choices, even if it leads to failure. Only then can young adult fantasy literature provide a more nuanced and healthy representation of the guardian-protege relationship. As we move forward, we must ask ourselves, how can we better differentiate between protection and control in our narratives in a way that empowers rather than stifles? The answer lies not in the elimination of these characters, but in a more thoughtful portrayal that encourages a dialogue about autonomy, growth, and the true nature of protection. Character psychology is fascinating, and sometimes our favorite characters exhibit behaviors we'd never tolerate in real life. What do you think about this analysis? Are there other characters with red flags I should cover? Let me know in the comments. Your suggestions help shape future videos.